Out of Left Field is brought to you in part by Coordinated Health Hazleton Campus. Better together. Hello again. I checked the lineup and everyone is playing left field for the next 20 minutes or so. And sorry you have to buy your own sunflower seeds. When I was growing up, I was terrible at baseball and I always played Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I could never beat Soda Popinski and I never became an actual boxer. The Diaz brothers, their story takes place a few console generations later and they actually would get into the ring. They're currently training at the Hazleton Area Boxing Club. Video games are usually blamed for keeping kids inactive and inside the house. Picture it, a grandfather yelling at his two grandsons to turn off the TV and go play outside. It was a different story for the Diaz brothers. A video game led to this picture in the standard speaker. The Diaz brothers, two young boxers who want to become champions with two-time heavyweight champion of the world, Tim Witherspoon. The two brothers are now training with Witherspoon at the Hazleton 1 Community Center.
I used to box in Dominican Republic. Yeah, I got in boxing because when my grandpa died, I had a video game, and we used to play, me and my brother. So we started boxing after that. My grandfather used to like it. Like I used to beat my brother up in the game. So.
Does your brother box?
Yeah, my brother's boxing right now.
He's out there now?
Yeah, he's gonna become the next champion.
When I was 12 years old, I had a PS2. And I had a boxing game, that was in the Dominican Republic.
All right.
I used to play boxing, I had a player there that was really, I made my own player.
Okay, yeah, great.
My grandpa, he used to watch me boxing on TV. He was a little old. His mind was like a kid's mind. When you get older, you start.
Yeah.
He said that his favorite fighter was my fighter. And he used to just play around, jump around like kids, man. Like, oh yeah, I used to knock him out. And then, when I was 18, that was last year. I looked, when I got out of work that day, my mom called me, he said he died. I was really sad, and then I was, memories, and I thought about that day, and then boxing just got into my head, I couldn't take it out. I think that's why, I think that's why I'm good. He's my inspiration, my mom, my grandpa.
Narciso and Adrian Diaz split time between the Dominican Republic and Hazleton. Both started boxing in the Dominican Republic.
When I started training over there, I learned a little bit, to be honest. I was just doing a lot of exercise, getting in shape. I was really in good shape over there. I was 160, I was really in good shape. I really didn't learn much, I was just moving around, throwing punches, but I didn't know as much as now. No, Tim, he taught me a lot, pretty much almost everything,
How Adrian ended up in the ring at the Hazleton 1 Community Center is just as good of a story as how the two brothers started boxing in the first place. When you came here, you joined up with this program?
Nah, when I came here, I went to the dentist, and the dentist knew Tim Witherspoon, so he told me to come over here.
Well, tell me about that. You go to the dentist and you say, I box?
Yeah.
That's how it started?
It sounded weird at first, yeah.
Adrian has gone from dental patient to Pennsylvania Golden Glove Central District champion. He won his championship by decision and qualified for regionals.
What helped me win the fight, it was like my brother motivating me, like you want to become champ, you want to help your family out.
Witherspoon should also get some of the credit for Adrian's success. What are you learning from Tim?
I'm learning from Tim defense, that's all we need to learn, and some moves,
Were you very offensive before, like very just go after it?
Yeah.
Okay. A few weeks after Adrian's victory, Narciso got his shot at a Pennsylvania Golden Glove Central District Championship. It was his first fight, not on PlayStation. You get an opportunity now at Golden Gloves. I mean, how big of an opportunity is that for you? I mean, this is, I guess, your first real competition?
This is my first real fight, yeah. I'm working hard every day. I'm not even resting now. Until, before the fight, maybe 2 or 3 days before the fight, I'll take a rest. But I'm running, doing exercise, trying my best, getting fit, because I want to give it all I got. I want to show people, I'm going to be the new champion.
Both brothers say boxing is very popular in the Dominican Republic. Narciso says he grew up watching it on TV. Other than their PlayStation controllers, they also had another connection to the sport.
My uncle's a boxer, my family, they're all fighters. My uncle went pro, he did like 40 fights. He didn't become like a champion like that, but he was still... Andres Capellan, yeah, that's his name. He was a good fighter, He's young, he's only like 36, I guess, now.
That doesn't mean everyone in the family is a fan.
My mom, she's Christian. I'm Christian too, but my mom is like a deep Christian. She's like really in it.
Yeah.
I had to tell her that I started boxing because she doesn't like that. You know, she doesn't like it at all. She gets like sad every time I tell her, I started boxing, and she was like, why are you doing this? This is not good, you know. That's not the way you have to, you know, live your life. And I was like, I like it, Mom, you know.
Why do you like it? Because it seems like you like it more than just the fighting aspect of it.
Oh, why
It seems like you're getting much more out of it than just that.
I'm a good person. I don't like, I mean, it's fun to, you know, to be a champion.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun to be one of the best fighters. You know, I'm not this type of people that talk like, oh, I'm better than you. No, I'm a quiet person. I just go in the ring and fight, give it all I got. I like to be I want to be a champion, you know.
So Narciso and Adrian are the latest branch on a family tree of fighters. No matter how high that branch grows, they'll never forget their roots. Do you spar with your brother at all? Or?
I used to spar with my brother, but now we're not sparring.
Do you play the video game ever?
Yeah, we have it on our phone, so we play.
So you still do that with each other?
Yeah, we still do that.
Boxers seem so alone in the ring, with only their opponent and the referee to keep them company. It must be nice to know you have someone who loves you back in your corner. Unless, of course, we're talking about the video game version of boxing, because then it's every Diaz brother for himself. Narciso lost his bout at the Pennsylvania Golden Glove Central District Championships, but he says he's going to keep training and try to get better for next time. Out of Left Field, we'll be right back. Coming up next on Out of Left Field, we'll hear the story of a group of athletes making a difference in some local kids' lives. Out of Left Field is brought to you in part by Coordinated Health Hazleton Campus. Better together. Welcome back to Out of Left Field here on SSP TV and SSPTV.com. When you first walk into the annual Hazleton Area School District Winter Olympics, it can be overwhelming. There's hundreds of kids and teachers. Everyone's having a good time, but there's a lot going on. Misericordia University students help organize the event every year. They give their time. I grabbed a few Misericordia students at random, whoever I could find first, and they all had one thing in common, all of the kids I spoke with. They were all athletes. Jillian Eberle earned 11 letters in 3 different varsity sports in high school. Now she's a 3-sport athlete at Misericordia University. She runs track and cross country and plays on the basketball team. She's also studying occupational therapy. Today is not the day to ask her how she handles all of it. In fact, a more appropriate question for her during the 2015 Hazleton Area School District Winter Olympics is, do you want to build a snowman?
Our professor, Dr. Soy, asked me to be Anna, but change of plans, I ended up being Elsa. I've never been a character and I've never been into acting, but I love being around the children, so it just brings joy to me, and I like being a princess for the day.
You see Frozen?
I have seen Frozen. Yes, I've seen it multiple times.
What's the reaction from the kids?
They are awesome. All their faces are like so cute. They're all smiling. They're all excited. It's just a day to have fun and enjoy it. And it's especially nice out today, so that's perfect.
The annual HASD Winter Olympics can warm even the most frozen hearts as special needs children from the school district participate in different indoor and outdoor activities set up and run by occupational therapy students from Misericordia. Glenna Hart, who organizes the event for Eagle Rock Resort, says it's all about the children's smiles. They are priceless, and so are the smiles on the faces of the Misericordia students. Jillian looked like she won a championship in all 3 sports she plays, even in less than favorable conditions.
One, how cold are you? And the second part of this question is, why do this all? You're out here with the kids and freezing.
Well, I am a little cold. My feet and my hands are only cold, really, though. I guess I'm just in the zone.
You're Elsa?
Being a character. Yeah, I know. I freeze things. And I just love being around children. I'm specializing in pediatrics, so my heart's just with them, and it brings joy, so it's something special I can do, give back to the community.
What have you taken away from athletics? What has it given you?
It's definitely given me a teamwork aspect and leadership, so you have to be able to work well with others and communicate, and that's definitely something, as going for an occupational therapy degree, I definitely need that working with pediatrics, so I'm excited for that.
Kate Pagnotta was on the lacrosse team at Misericordia. In 2013, she was 4th on the team in goals with 18. She had 6 multi-goal games. Now she's an assistant lacrosse coach at Dallas High School near Misericordia.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. I actually have a friend that I met in 1st grade, and she has Down syndrome. And ever since then, I was really involved in Special Olympics at home where I live in New Jersey. So they kind of really opened the door for me and really got me interested.
What were you surprised by when you did Special Olympics? What's something you really took away from there or really enjoyed, like a highlight of it that makes you keep going back or that you'd like to tell people about?
I think just their spirit, like they are so resilient, and everything that they do, they're just so happy, and it makes you really, really be grateful for everything that you have.
Ryan Horn participates in intramural athletics at Misericordia University. He decided to go into occupational therapy after a life-changing event in high school.
Were you an athlete? I mean, how'd you end up with that? If you don't mind me asking.
I was an athlete. It was during basketball.
How long?
I actually lost, I didn't make any new memories for 2 months. I completely blacked out for 2 months. And then after that, it was a lot of processing, memory gone. And I had a lot of lower cognitive speed. I couldn't really pay attention, and bright lights and everything bothered me. And I was like that for a good 6-7 months.
Do you still do athletics? I mean, you do.
Not on a school team, no, but I try to play intramurals as much as I can. I hang out with friends. We play racquetball, basketball.
Why do you think that's important for you and also for the kids to get out here today and maybe do something outside or athletically?
I think a lot of times people especially with special needs, maybe they'll assume that the kids can't do as much, but getting them outside, enjoying themselves, sledding, it really makes a difference to the kids' mental well-being.
Hart also sees the value in these games, so much so that she calls it her reward for working at Eagle Rock. While many others would be looking for big monetary bonuses as a reward, here's why the Hazleton Area School District Winter Olympics are so important to Hart.
Well, my brother is also, he's mentally challenged, and he's been in the Special Olympics. And I really personally wish that when he was growing up, there was a resort like ours that would have did things like this for him. So as a family also, we could have enjoyed it all together with him. So it's kind of like this is my baby now.
Why were Winter Olympics, or not Winter Olympics, but the Special Olympics special to your brother? Like doing the athletic event, how did it help him, or why do you think that's important, like the athletic end of it?
Well, because normally, I don't like to say that they're not included in a lot of things, but they feel like part of family, team, that there are other people that are normal just like them. And so it kind of brings all the families together, and it made him feel like he accomplished. When he got the medal, I see it on their faces here when they get their medals, and it makes me really proud to be a part of it.
My favorite part of the Olympics are the interviews with the athletes right after their event. You get to see raw emotion, the thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. It's also my favorite part of the Hazleton Area School District Winter Olympics.
Do you like sleigh riding?
Oh, it is cool and dangerous.
What did you like about it? What was the fun? Was it scary? What was it like?
What did you like about the sleigh riding?
More scary.
It was more scary, but you did it.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
Did you go sleigh riding?
Riding higher and higher.
And you kept going higher and higher, too.
Every 2 years, the world is united by sports, and there's a hope that we can realize no matter where we're from, we really aren't that different. That same spirit is alive here at Eagle Rock Resort.
One, two, three, go!
What do you think maybe people don't understand or get nervous about if they're going to work with someone who has a mental disability?
I think a lot of times people are too afraid of being politically correct, but a lot of times just working with the kids and just have fun with them, they'll have fun with you. A lot of times people don't really know how to act around kids with special needs, and you just be nice and talk to them.
Still to come on Out of Left Field, the story of a man who just can't get enough sports. Out of Left Field is brought to you in part by Coordinated Health Hazleton Campus. Better together. Welcome back to Out of Left Field. I hope you enjoyed your break between innings. When I first met Ryan Ehrie, the new athletic director at Penn State Hazleton, I told him I'd like to do an interview. Well, we went back and forth for a few months. We're both very busy men. Well, I thought I was a busy man until I actually did the interview with Ryan Ehrie. Ryan Ehrie's office is a bounce pass away from the Dr. Thomas M. Cassis Gymnasium. Down the other end of the hall, there's a pool and some cardio equipment. Downstairs, there's locker rooms and a weight room. That's the work environment for Penn State Hazleton's athletic director.
You could probably ask most ADs, there's never a routine day in the office. You know, you're getting a call or you're trying to answer somebody's question or deal with certain things on a hourly basis. You know, something comes up different, you have to take care of this, help a coach out with something, help a student athlete out, eligibility, all those things get rolled in, and it's never really the same day to day.
If you grow bananas for a living, you probably don't want to come home after a long day and enjoy a banana split. I don't know if Ehrie likes ice cream, but I do know he's bananas for sports. So much so that sometimes when his day is over at Penn State Hazleton, he goes from one gym to another. He's been a basketball referee for over 15 years. Tonight, the Hazleton Area High School girls basketball team can clinch the Wyoming Valley Conference Division I championship with a win over rival Berwick. Ehrie is the lead official for the game.
I always come into games and I try not to really look at the paper and what the records are, because I want to come in with a clean slate and officiate the game that we have in front of us. I like to know a little bit about who's playing, what talent they might have, and we share that in our pregame with the other officials. But each game is different. Each game is going to be played differently, officiated differently, and I like to take it as it comes along rather than knowing too much prior to the game. But I know it is a big game. It's on television, but it really doesn't make a difference. Once you throw the ball up, you stop thinking about that stuff.
From the tip-off of his life, Ehrie has been around sports.
I grew up around sports. Both my mom and dad were coaches at the high school level. My dad was a Legion baseball coach. Spent a lot of time at ball fields when he was playing, playing stickball, whatever, with friends and the other kids, and just grew up on it. Started playing baseball and golf when I was 6, 7, 8 years old. Picked up basketball a year or two after that, and just fell in love and knew that it's what I wanted to be a part of the rest of my life. I just referee basketball. I was 16. I was a junior in high school. I decided I didn't want to play basketball anymore. My mom wanted me to get a job, a part-time job. My dad didn't want me working at the local McDonald's. So he took me to one of his referees meetings. He referees basketball, soccer, and lacrosse at the high school and college levels. And he took me to his basketball chapter meeting, and I started there when I was 16, got my license a month before the season, and haven't stopped since.
What is it like your first few times out?
You hear everything, and you're not real sure when to blow the whistle, how hard to blow the whistle. It's difficult. It really is a challenge. It's not easy, and to make the judgment calls of call this or don't call that, it can really be nerve-wracking, especially for someone who doesn't have the experience. Fortunately, I was able to build off of what my dad had done and watching him referee, so I had a little bit of an idea. It still takes some time. It still takes a couple years to really get confident and know exactly what you're doing and what you should be doing.
There's a clue in this shot of Ehrie about another sports stop he's made during his career. Do you see it? Right there. Before starting work at Penn State Hazleton, Ehrie worked at the United States Collegiate Athletic Association. Penn State Hazleton is a member of the USCAA. Ehrie enjoyed the job, but says that his interactions with student athletes were limited. He loves that interaction. He even tries to talk with some of the players during the games he's officiating.
It's just nice to be out there and around them, and if you can kind of coax a smile from them in the midst of the battle, it's nice, it's fun. I like to smile and try to have fun with them and ease the tension a little bit. And those are the best moments. A lot of them like my shoes sometimes. Those are some of the better moments when you're just standing there waiting to inbound the ball and a kid looks at your shoes and goes, "Nice shoes. Where'd you get those?" Those are the fun moments, the light moments.
Life's not always light and easy for a referee, especially with hundreds of eyes watching what you're doing very closely.
What's something maybe we don't notice as the general public as you guys are out there? I mean, is the mind always going when you're out there? What's something people don't understand about it?
A lot. most people aren't trained to see what we're trying to see. You know, we're looking at specific things, specific matchups, specific contacts. Not all contact is a foul. That's probably the biggest thing. You hear people, you know, there was a lot of contact. Well, just because there was contact doesn't mean there was a foul. That's one of the big things. Who created the contact? You know, did it impact the play much? Can someone play through a little hand check out on the front, out on the perimeter? Those are the types of things we're looking for and trying to develop a flow to the game, because that's important in a basketball game, is the flow. If we're out there blowing the whistle every 5 seconds, everyone starts to get restless. The game starts to take forever. You're fouling players out. It becomes difficult. So we try to help the flow of the game. That doesn't mean by just letting obvious things go, but if we can pass on something and let the players play through it and make the plays themselves, that's what we want to see. We don't want to blow the whistle all the time.
Constantly surrounded by sports, you can forgive Ehrie if he doesn't come home and turn on a game.
It's tough, you know. Sometimes I find myself, I can't watch sports as much on TV now that I have the job that I have. But you know, just everything that I learned and the person that I've become, I was built basically on a court or a field or wherever it might have been. So you know, I owe a lot of my personality and who I am today to athletics and to sports and what I did growing up. So it just made sense to continue to be a part of that, and then hopefully impart some of the wisdom I've gained from my experiences and help out, you know, younger student athletes who are pursuing their dreams at the college level.
Hold up, we can't clock out on this story yet. I forgot to tell you that Ehrie was also a standout golfer at Montrose Area High School. He even golfed at the NCAA's Division II level at Westchester University. Ehrie doesn't have that much time to hit the links right now, but I think he'll eventually squeeze that in too.
That took a hit this past summer, really. I had been playing the 2 or 3 previous summers. I got out quite a bit, but my wife and I just had a daughter who's 9 months old. That killed my golf time this past summer, but I'm hoping to get back out on the course and maybe look at a couple courses in the area to become a member of and get out on the course after work during the summer.
I probably should have led with the fact that Ehrie has a daughter who's not even 1, because look at how much energy he has around sports, and this is after a day at the office. Now that Ehrie has a daughter, I guess he never has to clock out of sharing his love of sports with a younger generation. Okay, I'm done with my work, and unlike Ehrie, I'm not going to watch more sports or participate in sports. Maybe I'll go play some Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Thanks for watching. Keep up with local sports on FYI on SSP TV, and we'll see you next time on Out of Left Field.